Hello everyone, I'm Novel Nick, as you may know, and in today's episode we will be talking about The Martian by Andy Weir. And it's about 435 pages long, at least this cover is, with Matt Damon, which I don't like because someone's looking at you the entire time, but whatever. Can't judge a book by its cover, you know? So, this book, it was really, really good. I literally could not put it down. I couldn't wait until I kept reading pages on and seeing what would happen, and it is a great story, let me tell you. But before I begin telling you about the book, let me just say something about Andy Weir, the author himself. So, The Martian is his very first book, and surprisingly enough, he is afraid of flying. A guy that's afraid of flying writes a book about traveling in space onto Mars. Yeah, that's crazy. And he's working on his second novel called Zek, Z-H-E-K. Not sure if I said that right, but he describes it, he as in Andy Weir, describes it as a more traditional sci-fi novel that will have aliens, telepathy, faster than light travel, etc. And also, if you are a gamer, Andy Weir worked at Blizzard at one point, and he worked on Warcraft 2. So that's kind of cool that, you know, some author worked at Blizzard, a gaming company. And before he wrote The Martian, he actually did some extensive research to make this book scientifically accurate as possible. And he researched orbital mechanics, the conditions on Mars, the history of manned spaceflight, and botany, you know, growing plants and vegetables and crops. So, alright, well, let's get to The Martian. The Martian starts off on Mars, as you may already know, in a place called Ares 3. And Ares 3 is where Mark Watney, Matt Damon, and 5 of his other crew members go onto Mars, and they live in a dome, basically. But a major sandstorm happens, and Mark ends up getting caught in it, and he becomes unresponsive, and it's a bad sandstorm, so the rest of the crew basically leave him to Mars by himself. Sucks, but I mean, hey, if you're told to, you kind of have to. But this book, there's many times I just try to picture myself alone. Just, you know, no trees, no sound, no roads, no buddy, no nothing. And it sucks because in this book, everybody thinks that Mark Watney is dead, the main character. That would be terrifying. One cool thing is that each crew member has 2 jobs that they specialize in, and luckily Mark specializes in being a botanist and mechanic, so he used those 2 to help him survive on Mars when he was there. Most of the story was written in first person due to Mark keeping logs every day, every couple of days, and that's how, you know, he would keep himself sane. Just writing on the computer what he did, what he's going to do, etc., stuff like that. He does contact Earth, well, NASA specifically, and he knows that in about 4 years, they are going to send another ship full of people to Mars, but it's not anywhere near him. Actually, let me show you how long is the distance to be exact. This is The Martian. You open up and there's a nice little cover page, and then here's a nice map. Over here is where he actually lives, Ares 3, and now he's trying to travel to Ares 4, and over here is where he finds a communication to talk to NASA with. When Mark does make contact with NASA, he talks to them, but the translation time is about, I think it's like 27 minutes or so, and so he starts to receive emails from friends, family, basically everyone he knows, and to him, it's nice because he doesn't have any human interaction, and just talking to someone, getting emails is pretty nice. Because, he's been stuck on Mars, and he will be stuck on Mars for about a year and a half before he actually gets off of Mars. And so this guy, Mark Watney, the main character in the story, the things that he does to keep himself alive is crazy. I mean, there's 4 times that Mars tries to kill him, and he just survives. And so during his journey, I guess you could say, on Mars, he starts naming things after himself. I mean, why not? You're the person that's lived on Mars longer than anybody else has, so why not? I would do that too. So, this book has a happy ending. I'm not gonna exactly tell you what, but it is pretty crazy what happens. He does get off Mars and onto Earth, and I'll just tell you that, it's human nature to help other people out. People want to help other people, and that's human nature. So, there's that. And to be honest, if you're a sci-fi fan, pick this book up. No doubt about that. It's amazing. Like I said, 425 pages or so. It is really good, and it's never boring at all. It's probably one of my new favorite books. Like I said before, I couldn't keep it down, couldn't put it down. It was really good, and it doesn't ever have parts that you just want to skip through. It is always fun and entertaining. On the back of the book, they wrote that it is nail-biting action. I don't believe nail-biting is the right word, but it is pretty crazy. So here's the book, and it's at 12-point font. Some of the logs that Mark Watney keeps, they're smaller, but yeah, I mean, there's a lot of text on it. Here's the author, Andy Weir. The Martian's his very first book, kind of cool. But yeah, that's really about it. Alright, as you guys know, this is Bill Nye the Science Guy. If you don't know anything about science, you know who Bill Nye is. Over here is Andy Weir, the author of The Martian, and Neil deGrasse Tyson. I wanted to do this book because the movie just came out about 20-ish odd days ago. So some of you probably seen the movie or are going to see the movie. If you do, I could recommend reading the book and then watching the movie, because most times the books are way better than the movie. But apparently the Martian book and the Martian movie are both really good. So that's always good. And they have an all-star cast too in the movie, so that's also good too. But definitely check out the book. Since I'm a movie critic, I'm a kind of book critic. So yeah, check out the book. Yeah, the drill. Like, if you want, subscribe, whatever. More books headed your way soon. Thank you.